Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we had a very fun project. We are going to be painting all of these chairs into this inspiration pick that we got from our client with this cherry red and gold dipped feet. And today we're going to show you how we do the gold dipped feet. We first started by painting the chairs. The color that we are painting it is the Farrow and Ball Rectory Red, and yes, that is the name of the color. Now that we have painted the chairs, let's show you how we do the feet. The first thing we're going to do is put it seat down so that we have the legs up so that we can see what we are working with. Now in the inspiration picture, the gold started right here at the very base of the screw. So that made a very good point for us to measure and mark. After we tape that off, we will use our measuring tape to measure that and repeat it on the legs that do not have the little notch on the other inside of the leg. So the most important thing about this whole process is taping it off. We're using this purple tape. It is called the delicate tape. You may find it called sensitive tape at other places, but ours says delicate surface tape. This makes sure that we do not take the paint off of our chairs. I like to do the part with the notches first, and I like to take off small pieces of tape and work in small sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my marking point, which is the very base of the screw, and I want to be very careful to make sure that I get it all the way into this groove. To do that, I'm going to use my fingernail to really push it down into the crevice so that when I spray the paint, it doesn't go underneath the tape and get into the inside of the leg. I'll repeat the process on the other side. The inside of the leg also has that same notch. And I'm going to pull it around to make sure that my ends meet up in a nice, seamless line. With the red paint and the gold spray paint, any area that I miss is going to be super obvious. So I want to make sure that I'm really getting my tape correctly. Now I will repeat it to all the other three legs. So once again, we are starting at the very base of the screw. We are being very careful. We're being very mindful. We're being very delicate with what we do with our tape. And once again, I cannot stress this enough. You really want to make sure that your paint gets deep into that groove, because when you are spray painting this gold paint, it is going to get into any crack that it can get into. So if you do not have a good seal on your tape, it will get through on that leg. Now that we have done the front two legs, we're going to do the back two legs, which do not have that second leg attached to the inside. We are going to measure the exact same spot on all of these legs to make sure that they are consistent with all the chairs that we have. So we decided to do the inside portion of the leg from the very base of the foot down to where it meets the same measurement as the one on the notch on the front legs. With my pencil, I made a mark where I wanted it to be, and I put the delicate tape right below my mark so that any pencil mark that I had would be covered up by the gold. And then I repeated the process, bringing it around to make sure that it had a very seamless end to the beginning. Now we're going to scuff sand this because it's a little rough from the paint and dust settling in. So I'm using a fine pad. This is one of the rad pads by Surf Prep. And I'm just going to kind of scuff sand this. But once I get down to the tape, I'm going to make sure that I go up with my sandpaper. This kind of works to seal it, and it makes sure that I don't get this all messed up. It's still a nice clean line and giving us that dipped look. Now that we have scuff sanded and taped everything off, we are going to use a microfiber cloth to wipe off any of the dust, and then it is time to tape off the rest of the legs so that we do not get any spray paint on the rest of our red paint. To do that, we are going to use this tape drape. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it on one of the inside of the legs going into the notch, and we're going to wrap it around all four legs. And I know what you're going to say, but Jennifer, this is going to leave a big gap, but just stay patient because I'm going to show you a little trick that we have. So once we have it taped all the way around, we're going to pull the drape down so that we are covering up the back of the chair, because we didn't do this on the first two, and we got paint on the tops of the chairs, and I didn't think the paint would travel that far, but it did. So learn from my mistakes and tape off the back of your chair. The spray paint goes further than you think it will go. Okay, are you ready for the little trick? to do this little inside, we're going to take a small piece of the tape drape, just enough that goes from one leg to another, and we are going to tape it to the inside of our existing tape drape, because on the inside is all the sticky part. So we're going to tape the whole thing down, and then we're going to extend out the drape, and the drape is going to stick on all of the blue tape that is all around the legs. And voila, you have it all taped off and ready to go. Now we are going to move our nicely taped chair over here, and I'm going to take the one that we have already sprayed out of the spray booth and let it dry in front of the fan, and then we'll get to go through the unveiling process together. But this is the Behr Gold spray paint. I'll put a little picture of it right here, but Matt is spraying it, and he's just doing just real short, quick swipes. And this is just going to be the first coat. We will go back in with a second coat. We did learn that doing this, you need to be very light-handed with it, because it looks like it's going on pretty lightly, and then it just makes it look a lot thicker as it dries for some reason. So go very light, let it dry, and then you can do another light coat again. But you want to make sure that you get all around, so you have to kind of do a merry-go-round all around your chair multiple times. It's like musical chairs, but it's like spray painting chairs. After that has had time to dry a little bit, we are going to take our red rad pad, and we're going to do a quick scuff sand in between coats of our paint, and then we're going to shake it all up, and we're going to spray it for a second coat. Typically, the second coat is even lighter than the first. So now it is the final reveal. We take off the tape drape. Be very careful taking off the tape drape, because while the legs may be dry, some of the paint may still be wet on the tape drape. And if you take it off and bump one of the edges of the chair, then you've got gold paint on the chair and you've messed up your chair. So be careful with the tape drape. And now we take off the delicate tape. This is when we find out how good we were on our tape job, and to see if we got a good enough seal so that we had a nice, clean, dipped line. And I'm very excited with how these turned out. And now please enjoy a little untaping montage, if you will, for your viewing pleasure. And now here is the final look. We are so excited with how it turned out. This is definitely not our normal. We stick with a lot of neutrals, but doing this fun red was a lot of fun. Even though our spray booth kind of looks like a scene from Dexter, it was totally worth it, because this was so much fun to do, and it was a great learning process on how to do these dipped looked legs. We will list all the products we used down in the comment section below, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and we will answer them as best we can. If you liked this and you want to see more videos, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel, and you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And thanks for watching. See you next time.